Greetings, I hope you're good and well. This is a book review for Nexus by Yuval Noah Harari. I've read a few of Yuval's books now, and he usually emphasizes the fact that most systems on Earth, or most organisms, are data processing systems. For example, a flower is a data processing system because it absorbs sunlight, which is data, and it processes that sunlight. Animals do the same. You could describe most animals as data processing systems. You could do the same for a human, and you could also describe a government system as a data processing system. There are different governmental systems around the world, and they all process data in a slightly different way. The first human-made piece of information technology, according to this book, is the verbal story. Back in the day, when we started telling each other stories, it enabled us to cooperate in large numbers and get things done on a large scale. Then after that, you had clay tablets in Mesopotamia for recording property ownership and debts and stuff like that. And then you had the printing press, the telegraph, the telephone, the TV, the radio, and then the computer today. But this book argues that the computer and AI is different to all other information technology. It's different because it can be autonomous and self-learning. Information doesn't always equal truth. And governmental systems are a delicate balance of truth and order. A democracy focuses on truth. It's got self-correcting mechanisms. It's got scientists and court systems, and if there's something wrong with the information, loads of different separate entities can call out that falsity and correct it. Whereas a totalitarian government system is focused on order to keep the people in control and keep the people in line. When I speak of order here, order can mean mythology, as in nations and religions, which are not real. But if the people believe that there's a nation or a religion or a god, it can create harmony and function. So that's an example of order. You need shared mythology for order. In this book, Yuval Noah Harari uses the atom bomb, or the manufacture of the atom bomb, as an example of this. To make an atom bomb, you need the truth. You need scientists who understand the truth about atomics and physics to build the bomb. That's essential. But an atom bomb can't be built by one single scientist. Hundreds and thousands of people are involved. Loads of different workers are involved in transport and manufacture, and all of those workers need to be clothed and fed and sheltered, right? So it's a huge operation. So you need truth for the actual scientists to build the atom bomb, but you also need some kind of order and mythology to motivate the hundreds and thousands of workers who are involved in the whole entire operation. And again, that mythology, that order, can come from a shared belief in something like money, a nation, or a god. A large part of this book highlights the dangers of AI, or the potential dangers. In 2016, for the first time in history, a computer algorithm caused or aided a human genocide. The Facebook algorithm promoted extremist content in Myanmar, stirring up hatred against Muslim Rohingya people. That's a historical first. AI was actually causing murder in a certain part of the world. There was moderate content being uploaded to Facebook and extremist content, but because the algorithm had been programmed to get as many views as possible, the extremist content was promoted more, and it caused up all this hatred, and it actually resulted in a genocide. Thank you for making it to the halfway point of this video. This is a quick message to let you know that I have a range of horror and sci-fi horror books available, and most of them are free. If you enjoy my videos, you might also enjoy my stories. And if you want to receive exclusive content relating to the world of books and horror, consider joining my mailing list. You'll even get 2 free audiobooks for doing so. Finally, if you want to support my work, you can make a donation to my PayPal tip jar. All the links are below. Thank you. Now back to the video. Smartphones have also created a kind of surveillance system all across the world. Everybody's got a smartphone now, of course, and everybody's glued to it. And if there's any kind of accident, people pull out their phones and record it. If you had a fight with somebody on the street, you can bet your last dollar that there'd be about 5 or 6 people filming it and recording it. And also you've got TripAdvisor, which is cited in this book. But like, if you're a restaurant owner today and your manners are not up to scratch, or you give somebody a bad meal, it's going to end up on TripAdvisor, and your restaurant's going to have bad reviews for the whole entire world to see. It's like a huge voluntary surveillance system. It's like people do this not because they're getting paid, but just because it's become part of the culture. And it's very similar to China's social credit system. I haven't looked into this in depth, but I don't like the sound of it. In China these days, you've got a social credit system where you kind of earn points for good behaviour and you lose points for bad behaviour. And obviously it's a way to keep people in check and keep people in line, and for the government to kind of give out brownie points for the people who are obedient. But this kind of thing is happening in every country on a voluntary basis due to smartphones. Another danger that's cited in this book is data colonialism. In the past, colonies were gained using gunpowder, ships and swords. People actually went to these countries on big ships and physically attacked the natives. And then once the country was under control, then that country's resources were stolen and taken, like cotton or oil or gold or whatever. But in the future, a country could actually create an algorithm that could steal a country's data without anybody needing to go there at all. It could all be done online. The algorithm could gather huge amounts of data from the citizens of another country, and then with that data, the empire could then control that colony's attention and extract its money. And what I mean by that is, if you've got a country's data, you can then, if people use a certain app in that country, you can choose what that app shows, like social media posts. And if you know every single thing about them, you would also know their buying habits and their likes and dislikes. So you could not only control their attention and behaviour, but you could also extract the wealth of that country all online. Out of Sapiens, Homo Deus and Nexus, I would say that Nexus is probably the toughest book to get through out of all 3. It's very political. It talks about governments all the way through. Very political, and it focuses on AI only, whereas the other books cover like human evolution in a more broad manner, and Homo Deus covers like humanism, dataism, and all kinds of different stuff. The Nexus is very focused on one topic, and it's basically AI and politics. I do recommend it though, not for everyone. I recommend this book for people who have a naive view of the internet and AI and smartphones. Certain people who seem to think that more information is always a good thing and information always equals truth, but it's not so. Technology can be dangerous, and AI especially is potentially more dangerous than any other technology that we've ever invented. I'm going to end this video with an insight that I gained from Richard Dawkins. About a year ago, I read River Out of Eden by Richard Dawkins, and it's all about life on Earth and evolution, like all of his books are. In the universe, some stars go supernova, They can burn normally for years and years, but then due to some kind of chemical reaction, they go supernova and they explode and they start burning brighter, and they spew energy into the cosmos. Another thing that stars can do is they can go information. They can turn into an information bomb. And this has only been observed once in the universe so far, and that's of course with our sun and our planet Earth. Our sun has created an information bomb, and it all started with self-replicating organisms, high-speed information processing systems, as in the human brain, and then the next stage was language, and then the next stage was radio, and then the next stage was space travel. Our sun has gone information, and our planet has turned into an information bomb that is spewing information into the cosmos in the form of satellites and space probes, and eventually us when we start to colonize other stars and other planets. Thanks very much for watching. I'll be back in 2 weeks with another book review. In the meantime, try to have a good day on this dataist, information saturated, information bomb we call Earth. Lots of love. Goodbye.